Hello students, welcome to this Frames 5 video tutorial on the butterfly. Please open Frames 5 from your application screen. Then, if you were able to complete this project last year and if you have access to your file, then I would like you to open your butterfly file. If you don't have access to the file or you did not complete this project last year, then I would like you to continue, actually go back to butterfly part 1. Okay, so let's review what we've accomplished in previous tutorials. So let's press play. So if you remember, we animated a butterfly fluttering across the screen, and then the next step is that we created a predator that would eat that butterfly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some comical elements that really have nothing to do with that story, but they're just added on. Okay, so in the timeline, let's go all the way back. And I want you to start, let's say, on frame 5 or frame 6. It doesn't matter. Okay, so from the far right side, the right panel, let's click on Library. Let's double click on Clip Art. Okay. So let's go all the way down to Objects. Objects. Double click on Objects and double click on Clothing. Okay, so what I'd like you to look for is this hat right here. Now if you don't have access to this hat, then you can choose a different hat. Okay, so I want you to click on that hat. It's a baseball cap, really. And then I want you to click on the little green arrow in the bottom right hand corner, or you can click and drag it over onto your frame. Okay, so let's resize the hat, make it quite small. Okay, and then I would like you to place it on the right edge of the frame. This time we're going to have the hat moving from right to left, since everything else, all of our other elements, move from left to right. So let's introduce it just coming in, poking in from the right edge of the frame. Okay, so let's copy it. And then from our timeline, let's click on the next frame and then click Paste. Let's turn on the onion skin. So let's go up to the View pull-down menu and let's click on Onion Skin. Let's move the hat slightly to the left. Okay? Let's copy it. Let's click on the next frame and let's click Paste. Let's move the hat a little bit. Remember, you've got the onion skin on, showing where the hat was in the previous frame. Remember, we're only working with this one element, so don't deselect. Keep highlighted on the cap or the hat. All right, let's copy. Let's click on the next frame in the timeline, and let's click Paste. So I want you to continue this pattern. You can have the hat move slightly up or down. It's up to you, or you can just keep it going in a straight line. What we're trying to show is that this hat is just blowing in the wind. So it probably can move slightly up or down if you wish. All right, so copy, click on the next frame, paste. So I'm going to have it move just a little bit upwards here. I'm going to copy it, click on the next frame, paste. Then I'm going to have it move a little bit higher. I'm going to copy it, click on the next frame, paste, and then I'll have it start moving downwards again. So again, you continue in this pattern, have it move up and down slightly, continue to move that hat towards the left. Make sure you copy it, click on the next frame, and paste. Now we're going to have a lot of frames, and we're going to try to get the hat to blow off the left edge of the frame. Okay, so I'm going to go copy. Got a lot of frames to go, so I'm just going to take my time. Okay, now in the timeline, I'm getting towards the right edge of my screen, so I'm going to use the slider, and I'm going to slide all the way, making sure that I still can see this frame here, and that way I can get a sense of how many frames I have left to work with. All right, copy, click on the next frame, paste. Continue. It's much easier when you're only animating one element at a time. And maybe I'll start having the hat fly a little bit upwards. But remember, I've got the bird coming in, so I don't really want them to kind of collide. So I'm going to try to keep them away from each other. Now I've moved past the halfway point and I'm actually heading towards the left edge of the frame. So I'm going to use my slider at the bottom, and again I'm going to slide all the way to the end, and that way I can see how many frames I have left to work with. And it looks like I'm going to have enough time and enough room to have this hat blow off the left edge of the frame. Now it doesn't have to be perfectly timed that the hat leaves the frame on the last frame. Okay, I'm actually going to get there a little bit before the end of my animation, and that's fine. So maybe I can go one more frame and just have the back edge of the hat showing on the left edge of the frame. Okay? Okay, so I was able to animate the hat blowing from the right edge of the frame all the way to the left. Now, if you still need more time, obviously you're pressing pause as we're moving along. Okay, so I want you to animate that hat so that it gets to where my hat is, where only the back edge is showing on the left edge of the frame. It doesn't matter if you're on the last frame or if you've got a few frames more to go like I do. Okay? All right, so let's see what we've done. We're going to concentrate now on this one element that we've added. So let's go up to View and let's turn off the onion skin. And let's click on frame 1 and press play. Now this time what you're watching for is you're watching for the movement of the hat, because we already like the movement of the butterfly. We've already checked that. And we like the movement of the predator. We've already checked that in previous tutorials. So let's press play. And keep an eye on that hat as it's blowing from right to left. Okay. All right. So right now it does not really look very realistic. It looks like the hat, the baseball cap, is actually flying like a spaceship. So we're going to add one more effect to that hat. Okay, so in the timeline, let's find where the hat makes its appearance. Alright, so I've found the frame where the hat first enters into our animation. So I'm going to advance to the next frame. I want to click on that hat and I want to slightly rotate it using the little ball at the top of that object. You see the little ball here, and that's the rotate tool. So I'm going to rotate it slightly forward so that it's tumbling forward. I'm going to turn back on the onion skin so I can see the previous position. Okay, so let's click on the next frame. Click on the hat, and I want you to rotate it a little bit farther this time. And then click on the next frame, click on the hat, and do the same thing. The key is that you're rotating it a little bit farther each time so it continues to tumble and spin. All right, click on the next frame. Click on the hat, click on the rotate tool, and have it rotate a little bit more. So again, continue this pattern. Very easy once you've got the first couple done. Again, you're trying to show that this hat is tumbling and rotating because of the wind through the air. Okay, and have it rotate a consistent amount every time. So I'm going to continue on. You can go at your own pace. And looks like I've gone more than 180 degrees now. Just continue. Now you might find that it's going to get to a point where it's actually easier just to rotate backwards instead of forwards, and that's kind of where I am now. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate backwards. And sometime you'll get to a point where you don't have to rotate it at all because it just so happens that it's in the perfect position. And that's where I am in this frame. So I'm just going to skip that frame and keep going. Continue my rotations now. I've gone more than 360 degrees around already. I'm going to continue. I'm getting close to the left edge of the frame. I'm running out of frames. I'm going to continue this rotation. Okay, I've managed to rotate that hat all the way to the left edge of the frame. Okay, so again, let's have a look at what we've done. So let's deselect, let's click on frame 1. Let's go up to view and turn off the onion skin. All right, let's hit play. Now again, only focus on the hat. Make sure that it's spinning. It looks like it is being blown by the wind, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's save this file. Okay, so this concludes this frames video tutorial on the butterfly part 6. Please continue on with the next tutorial without calling Mr. Ueda over. Thanks for watching. Bye.